Hello everyone. Since you aren't able to be with us in person, I have decided to take a look at this laptop and record what I find out that's going on with it. So somebody brought this in today, and they said the left mouse button is a little bit weird. So I have been able to confirm that it does work, but it's just, let me bring in here a little closer. Look here, it's just really wobbly. Where that one's nice and stiff, this one's just not good. So either there might be something plastic broken or some sort of a support that's popped off there or something, I'm not sure. So first thing we're going to do is power this thing off and get rid of any source of power that it might have. That would be your power brick or the battery. And I like to do one more step, and that is to just drain any excess power by holding the power button down for just a few seconds. Okay. Now with this particular model, looks like all the screws are here on the bottom, and doesn't look like it'd be too bad. I brought along a couple of tools with me here. I've got a couple different size Phillips screwdrivers, and I like to use these blank plastic credit cards to pry these cases open. So that's what we'll be working with. And I'm just going to go ahead and start taking some screws out here. Okay, fortunately with this particular laptop, all the screws were the same size. Sometimes you run into a few different sizes, especially with the outer corners and where the hinges are. Those might be a little bit longer, but these are all the same size. And if you look, sometimes there's some underneath the battery, maybe for the keyboard or just to hold the top case together, but there isn't on this one. And then sometimes too, there are some hidden underneath where the CD drive is, and I don't see anything there, so should be good to flip this over and pull this apart. Now, there's usually two different kinds of laptops when it comes to keyboards. Some have the keys just inside of this whole top frame, like this one is, where it just kind of runs from this part straight down in through between these keys. And then some of them actually have a keyboard that's set down in there that you'll want to pop out before you start to take this top piece off. But this is all one piece, so this keyboard is going to come with this top piece. So let's see if we can't use our credit card here to start prying out this somewhere. And I like to use these plastic ones rather than a screwdriver or something like that, because plastic on plastic isn't really going to cause any damage. But if you go to prying on something plastic with a metal tool, then you're going to leave some nicks and scars that the customer might complain about. Catching some resistance here. When I pulled that cover off of that CD drive, CD drive didn't come with it. It was over here. I think we probably want to try to pull that out. Okay, still catching some resistance right here. The rest of it's pretty well free, so sometimes they like to hide screws underneath the little rubber feet, some stuff like that. So let's just pop one of these off. Yep, sure enough, there's a screw underneath there, causing us some problems. Problem with pulling these things apart too is you never know if you're dealing with a screw that you missed, or if there's something clipped together inside, or if something's glued together. You just never know. And those screws are also the same size, so no worries there. Alright, let's see if we can make something happen now. There we go. Okay, so we are looking for this button right here. So I'm just going to put my finger on the opposite side, so it should be residing somewhere around where this ram is. So I'll just take this module out, set him aside, and so it looks like we're dealing with this piece right here. So let's get this clip off. Flip this little retaining clip up, get this ribbon cable out of here. Got another one on the other side. Get it out of the way. 2 screws. Get those out real quick. Okay, let's pull this up and slide it out. And there's the board with the 2 buttons. As I said, the buttons still work. It's the way it feels. So if you look here and look here, let me bring you in for a closer look here. Okay, so this is the button that was working, and it has this little plastic piece right here and a plastic piece right here that makes that stiff. If you look over here on this button, that plastic piece is just gone, it's broke. So I can pull that completely out of there. So probably not going to be able to buy that or find it anywhere. So we may try melting these tips, or just putting a little glue on it and see if that gives us any type of resistance that we're looking for to get that feeling a little bit better. Or maybe we'll rig something else up. I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to bring you in here. I was able to, if you can look, I don't know if you can see that, I was able to melt some plastic over top of those little tabs that were broke away from the top frame, and I got a little bit of melted plastic on the old speaker wire, so let's hope that still works. Okay, so we'll put this back together and see how she turns out. Okay, so it's working. I ended up having to melt some things and glue some things to some things and adjust some things. Would not recommend trying to fix these little plastic things, especially on these cheap computers. I mean, they're throwaway computers anyway. But, you know, sometimes to make people happy, you do what you got to do. This is one of those scenarios. Sometimes I've had these mounts in the frame pull loose for where the hinges go on the frame, but so I've had to just put some screws through here. You know, best case scenario, you buy a new whole piece, which would probably have the keyboard and everything in it. And where this is an old computer, if you could even find these parts, they'd probably be expensive. So, you know, that's why they make these as just throwaway machines. But, you know, it is there and it is working. It's a little bit warped from all the heat, as you can maybe see right there. But if you notice, she's a lot stiffer than she was. Looks good. Okay, so there you guys go.